Elena Ward had always moved fast, fast decisions, fast meetings, fast days that blended together until she barely remembered when she last sat still. Being a CEO at 32 demanded that pace. Her assistant joked that Elena's footsteps sounded like a timer counting down. This morning was no exception. She had a crucial board meeting in less than half an hour, one that could shift the future of her company. Her presentation was flawless, every slide rehearsed to perfection. One wrong step today, and investors would start circling like vultures. She didn't have the luxury of delays. Then a tiny, trembling voice shattered all her priorities. "Ma'am. I can't find my daddy." Elena froze. The little girl stood near the parking lot entrance, her backpack slipping off one shoulder, her eyes red and swollen as if she'd been crying for a long time. She couldn't have been older than 6. Her curls were wild from running, and she hugged herself as though trying to keep her fear inside. Elena's heartbeat softened immediately. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" she asked, kneeling so they were eye level. I waited for Daddy. He told me to stay on the bench while he got something from the car." Her voice cracked. "But he didn't come back. And I got scared. I walked around and I called and," she sniffled hard. Nobody answered. The girl's chest rose and fell in quick, shaky breaths. Elena's usually sharp, disciplined mind scrambled to understand. "Did you see anyone else around? Or hear anything?" Lila shook her head. "No. But I think he went toward the woods. I saw the bushes move." Elena's eyes shifted toward the dense tree line that bordered the building's property. Tall pines and oaks formed thick shadows that the morning sun hadn't penetrated yet. The woods stretched far, far enough that if someone got lost or hurt inside, no one would know immediately. "You went in there?" Elena asked gently. "Just a little," Lila whispered, wiping her nose with her sleeve. "But it was dark and I got scared, so I ran back." Elena placed a steady hand on the girl's shoulder. "You did the right thing coming back. But listen to me, don't go in there alone again, okay?" Lila nodded, though her chin trembled. Elena took a slow breath. She could call security. They could handle it. They were trained. Protocol said to let professionals intervene. But the girl's hands were shaking so hard. And her eyes, those desperate, searching eyes, looked at Elena as though she were the only adult left in the world. Something in Elena's chest twisted. "All right," she said softly. "I'll help you find him." Lila's face crumpled with relief. She stepped forward and latched onto Elena's hand, small fingers clutching tightly. Elena glanced at her tablet, the time flashing boldly, reminding her that the board didn't wait for anyone, not even their CEO. But she turned the screen off. "Stay close to me," she told Lila. "And if I tell you to stop or stay behind me, you listen. Deal?" "Deal." Together, they approached the woods. The moment they stepped onto the dirt path, the world changed. The sounds of traffic faded, replaced by the faint rustle of leaves and distant bird calls. Cool, damp air brushed their faces. The trees seemed to lean inward as if shielding their secrets. Elena's instincts tensed. She wasn't used to uncertainty, she spent her days in controlled environments. Conference rooms. Offices. Predictable spaces. But this? This felt unpredictable and alive. "How long ago did you last see him?" she asked quietly. "Before the thunder," Lila replied. "We were walking, and Daddy said he forgot something in the car. Then the storm started. He told me to stay on the bench where it was dry. So just before the rain," Elena murmured. "That meant he'd been missing for at least half an hour, maybe more." "Then," Lila continued, voice dropping, "I heard something. Like a crack. And then, maybe someone fell." Elena stopped walking. "A fall?" she repeated. Lila nodded, eyes widening as if scared the memory might hurt her. "Yes. It was loud. But then everything got quiet." Elena's stomach tightened. She scanned the surroundings, the thick underbrush, the uneven ground, the fallen branches. The storm had made everything slick. One wrong step. "Lila," she said, "you're being very brave. Let's keep looking." They moved deeper. Twigs snapped under their feet. A squirrel darted past, making Lila gasp softly. Elena squeezed her hand to reassure her. They reached a patch where the dirt looked disturbed, a slide of mud, leaves shoved aside. Elena crouched and touched the soil. It was freshly moved. A trail. "Over here," she murmured. They followed the pattern until it led down a small slope, where the ground leveled out again. The air felt heavier here. Still. As if holding its breath. Then Lila shouted suddenly. "Daddy!" Her voice pierced the quiet woods. Silence followed. Then, a faint groan. Elena stiffened. "Did you hear that?" Lila's hands flew to her mouth, eyes wide. "Daddy, that was Daddy." They rushed forward, weaving through ferns and low branches. And then they saw him. A man lay crumpled beside a large fallen log, his right arm pinned beneath its full weight. Mud covered parts of his clothes. His breathing was strained, uneven. His face twisted in pain, but his eyes snapped open the moment he heard them. "Lila," he gasped. "Baby, stay back, it's not safe." But Lila was already running toward him, tears spilling freely now. "Daddy. I found you." Elena rushed forward, assessing the situation. The log looked heavy. Too heavy for one person. But the man was conscious, alert, and clearly relieved. "Sir," she said firmly, "don't try to move. I'm going to help lift it." He stared at her as though she'd lost her mind. "That thing must weigh, ma'am, you shouldn't." But Elena was already bracing herself. CEO life hadn't given her time for gym sessions, but adrenaline lent her strength she didn't know she had. She pushed her shoulder against the log. Nothing. She dug her heels into the dirt, gritted her teeth, and pushed again. It shifted, barely, but enough. The man's arm slipped free. He groaned in pain, clutching it to his chest. Elena staggered back, catching her breath. "Are you hurt anywhere else? Can you move your legs?" He nodded weakly. "My legs are fine. Just my arm, probably sprained or worse." "All right," she said. "We're getting you out." She helped him sit up, steadying him as the dizziness faded. Lila wrapped her arms around him, clinging as though she'd never let go again. Elena stood, brushing mud from her hands. The woods suddenly seemed darker, as if another wave of rain lurked above. They had found him. Now they needed to escape before the storm returned.